Happy holidays, and thank you for joining the 12 Days of DevOps. I will be going through what is DevOps, why are we doing this, and kind of leading up to the presentations that I'll be doing over the next 10 to 12 days for the 12 Days of DevOps. With that being said, I'll start the presentation. Who am I? I'm Coach Travis. I've been in IT for over 25 years, and I currently lead several large cloud modernization projects with DevOps and utilizing many different DevOps tools. I'm also AWS solution architect as well as a certified on Kubernetes. I passed my CKA this past year, and I utilize many different DevOps tools. I want to build community, and I want to connect with my fellow DevOps engineers, architects, and just talk about the pros and cons of new tools that are coming out, look at the different options that you can run as far as in the cloud, and sharing is caring. I'm doing this to build community and work with other people, and hopefully we can grow together. That being said, let's start with the fundamentals of DevOps. I do include, or am including, a disclaimer that these are my personal opinions. Please read this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I reserve the right to make changes to the content, and I hope that you understand that it's up to you to verify everything, but I do appreciate you watching this. So let's start with delivering software. So someone has an idea for an application, and how do they start? They gather the requirements, whether it's one person or a team of people, team of developers. They gather the business requirements, the functional requirements, the technical requirements, and then from there they build the application or applications if there are many applications that work together, and they deploy it, and it works. Boom, it's great. But we all know that it's never that simple, and there's many iterations and bug fixes and so forth. So this is what leads us to what we know as the DevOps process, or the infinity loop that's described here, where you plan, make a plan, you code, you build, you test your builds, you release, you plan your releases, you deploy, you have a workflow hopefully around that, you operate in production, and then you monitor for bugs, vulnerabilities, etc. And then you start the whole process over and over and over again. What I'd like to do is dive into that a little bit more and talk about the tools that are used in this process and why they add value, the benefits of using DevOps tooling. Hopefully you're increasing efficiency, automating processes, reduces manual errors, speeds up development cycles. You're enhancing your collaboration. You're working with those teams, development teams, operations, and testing, and you're going through and you have communication and cooperation between all the teams with the tools, and it speeds up everything. You're also improving the quality as far as security, continuous integration, testing, ensuring software releases are stable and reliable. But let's talk a little bit about that infinity loop. So if you really dive into the left-hand side being the developers and the right-hand side being the operations teams, they're really one big team, dev operations, developers and operations. So the developer on the left side, the developers are coding, which eventually that code is building into artifacts, which are then deployed. Those are applications that are deployed into environments. They're tested. Hopefully you have automated testing with the tooling and you're identifying vulnerabilities, bugs, etc., framework dependencies, and then you have some approval process where you push that to production eventually, and then on that side, once it gets to production, a lot of it is operations or SRE, system reliability engineers, that are monitoring for errors, security vulnerabilities, issues within frameworks, etc., dependent libraries, and then but also scaling for demand and keeping it highly available, as well as recovering if there's an issue in one availability zone. But that, and then it goes back to the dev teams to fix those bugs, create new versions, releases, etc., that starts the whole process over again. All this has different tools. And so we're going to talk a little bit about those different tools. The Git repos, or the repos where the source control is stored, that's going to be your version control, managing your code base. And there also are other tools called SVN outside of Git. And then you have build automation tooling, as far as like, that's where you have tools like Jenkins, Bamboo, Harness, GitHub Actions. So GitHub actually is on the source control and the build automation piece. And then configuration management, which are tools like Puppet and Ansible. There are many other tools, and that's what we're going to talk about. As far as the CI/CD, many have heard, hopefully, that are watching this video. What is CI/CD? CI stands for continuous integration tooling, code compilation, automatically compile code when new changes are committed to a repo, code quality, run code quality checks to ensure consistent and maintainable code standards, as well as automated testing, executing unit, integration, functional tests across systems, and validate functionality and performance. And then when you get into CD tooling, the CD of the CI/CD, that is your deployment and delivery. Delivery being automatically deploying code to different environments for testing and review, and deployment being automating the release of the code to production environments after successfully testing. We're also going to talk a little bit about containerization and containerization tooling, hopefully more on the Kubernetes side. But then the last thing, going through monitoring, logging tools, tools like Datadog, or different tools that maybe open source tools that run within Kubernetes for monitoring, tracking system performance, identifying bottlenecks, ensuring application behavior, as well as troubleshooting, debugging, auditing, etc. And last, I just, in summary, want to say that I'm looking forward to sharing and exploring a lot of different popular tools over the next 10 to 12 days. I hope we can squeeze it all in, and I won't drag on too much. I'm going to keep these short, lightning, but I also want to grow a community where we can have people can submit ideas. We can go through some new tools and really have a more collaborative working, maybe some meetups or Zoom calls, Teams, etc. But please comment, message me on LinkedIn to connect, or email me at travis@burmaster.com. I really appreciate you watching this. Please look for me, like and subscribe, but mostly just connecting and building community and supporting one another. Again, sharing is caring. Thank you. Have a good day.